Are you looking for the newest, fastest growing, uncensored, most raw podcast out right now? Look no further. Save it for the booth, baby. Hey, and do me a favor. Hit that little bell right there so you can be notified when we drop our videos, all right? Let's go!
What up?
What's going on, y'all?
We back again.
We got Killa in the building.
I had to take a little vacation.
She ain't gonna mess up her shit.
Gotta keep it together.
You gotta keep it together. We hear it. So how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of meetings today.
Oh, fancy.
No, it was nice. It was so ghetto, but I had a good day.
We got Punk in the building,
What up?
per usual. Deuce in the building, per usual. Shout out to all the TikTok community. We gonna holler at y'all later in a couple of the.
Got a message for y'all.
Killa
on y'all ass.
She is. She had our highest video. You two had our highest video for a long. It just got overtook you today.
Actually, my mom sent it to me, and she was like, "Did you see this?" And I was like, "Oh, no." And I shared it, and everybody that I know watched it and was like, "Oh my God, you're a celebrity." And I was like, "Stop."
Yeah, so we go do the same thing today.
Yeah,
We definitely go viral again.
We
Run
gonna
it
break
up.
the internet today.
Hey, so I had a question here. Do men benefit more from relationships than women?
No. But do y'all want to watch the video? Because I think the lady in the video was speaking from she was talking about health and depression and.
Let's give it a quick little. Let's give it a little preview. Yeah, a little lesson here.
Just in general.
Relationships are better for men than they are for women.
Right.
Men get more benefits out of it.
How do you feel now that a relationship is more beneficial to a man than a woman?
Statistically, men fare better in
Men
relationships.
live better, your depression rates go down, your health actually goes up. You got to think about this.
And on the
most
contrary,
men don't
women
even have.
do not when married.
Yep, women, our depression rates go down, our health goes down, our emotional health declines, all of these things. Men actually benefit more from this.
Okay, and that's from the Tonight's Conversation podcast, Ace Metaphor. Shout out to them. So, do men benefit more from relationships? No.
No, I think it's pretty equal.
You think it's equal?
It's all about your relationship. It's give and take.
We got an equalist over here. Equality. Why you think no? I'm gonna say yes, just so we can have a nice conversation here.
I just believe that men are more relaxed than women for the most part anyway. So the stuff she was talking about, I know I was way more calm, relaxed, didn't feel down about much until being in relationships. And then you gotta worry about a person leaving and what if they leave, and it's more stress trying to figure out relationship stuff than being single. That's just my thought on it. But y'all get the other benefits too, like y'all want us to pay for the majority of stuff.
Right.
Y'all
So
want us
aside
to,
from trying to pay for stuff, if we talking about two people together in a relationship, how that makes you feel, I don't think really a woman suffers more in a relationship than a man. And if you are suffering that much and you that depressed, then you need to reevaluate your relationship. You need to take a step back and look at why it is that you feel that way.
well, I don't think she's saying suffer. I just think she's saying y'all don't benefit from the relationship because I think it's that independent woman syndrome where, I could do all this stuff on my own, so what am I benefiting from having a man around? Where men are the same way, so what do you think we
I benefit in my
from
relationship just like my boyfriend benefits
As you should.
in our relationship. I don't think that's just a symptom of independent woman syndrome.
What? Thinking that men benefit more?
Yes.
Okay. That's how I'm looking at it.
it might be something. It might be
That's how I'm
something
looking
to
at
that. But I'm not on his side today, so I'm gonna say that men do benefit more in a relationship. I believe that women make us men go to the doctor more. So I think that when she alluded to men's health goes up, I know that's pretty general, but I think that's kind of what happens, We hard headed. We don't want to go to the doctor. We'll tough it out. We'll rough it out. But then, our lady will be like, this is ridiculous. We going. This is ridiculous. They give us a perspective. They bring us back to, earth a little bit here.
Yeah, that's about the only way though.
What about emotional intelligence? So a lot of men, before they in a relationship, they don't really have that emotional intelligence. They don't have
right.
They're not able to communicate their emotions. So
women yelling is being able to communicate.
No,
emotions.
I think it's more the sense of when you having a vulnerable moment with the woman that you love, she's gonna give you that safe space to open up and be vulnerable and talk about what's wrong with you and talk about what's troubling you and give you space to vent and also provide solutions or comfort if that's what you need.
These same women that we talking about, be a man. I don't want no man whining on my shoulder.
That's a different.
Be strong.
That's
tough
different.
it out.
If you talking to that girl, then absolutely leave her. But there is a woman out there who's gonna sit you down and be like, I care about you and I see you suffering, so let me help you out.
There's always cases of what you're saying.
You just hanging around the wrong ones.
How many women want a man that's being emotional all the time? I ain't there.
Not many.
I don't want a man who's just this strong, hard body robot. You gotta come off that at some point.
I'm not. Absolutely, but how many women want a man that's emotional all the time? They
Not
don't
all
want.
the time.
They
you
don't
want
want
a woman that's emotional all the time.
Most women are emotional all the time.
But if she was crying every day, you would be like, nah, this is it. It's the same way. If you a man and you just wake up and you crying like,
you want to know how that's wrong?
Me?
You want to know how that's wrong?
How?
We're actually taught to deal with y'all emotions. Like, that's part of our upbringing as men. Women have emotions, and sometimes they can't control it because all this going on. Even in the house with your mama, you dealing with PMS, menopause, whatever else, and we have to deal with y'all emotions. We're taught that.
Well, what about
that
this?
y'all have erratic
Maybe
emotions,
you're just not
and we deal with
giving women the space to come into that place where they can allow you to be emotional.
How am I not giving her the space to allow me to be emotional?
It's always when some woman says, "I'm trying to have a space for these men to be vulnerable." It's always somebody saying, "Well, what about the other women that don't?" We're not talking about them right now. And you always it's always the shutdown of, when I was raised, they told me I wasn't allowed to express my feelings, so that's why I don't. That's an immediate shutdown to.
I ain't just say that.
Yes, you did.
No,
actually,
I did not.
You just said
we was taught that.
We was raised as men to deal with women when you were a
with
kid.
Women's emotions.
That's exactly what you just said. So you're not
right.
allowing any space for me to be like, okay, well, I'm trying to change that. You just shutting it down at, well, I've already mastered how to handle you when you're emotional, so you don't need to master me. That's it.
I didn't
you
say any of that.
You don't need to even understand why.
I didn't say any of that.
Why?
I did not say any of that.
You didn't say it word for word, but that's what.
I didn't say it at all. I just said what we learned. I grew up in a house with a mother and a sister. I had to think about the times when they was PMSing. Not that they acted any type of way about it necessarily, but it was known. Like, sometimes my mama would be like, boy, it's that time of the month. I already knew, I'm gonna leave her alone. I ain't gonna. At least
you got a warning, shit.
And even when she started going through menopause, and if I was getting on her nerves, I'm having a flash, like,
but
gone
this is
somewhere.
Different than having a relationship with a woman.
What I'm saying is, we're raised to deal with y'all emotions, though, because the woman you're in a relationship are gonna deal with those same emotions, going through PMS, at some point going through menopause, having hot flashes. We already are introduced to deal with women's emotions, because y'all emotions are dictated by whatever you might be going through. It's not steady like ours.
So when I brought up the emotional intelligence, I was thinking from a point of being able to deal with our own emotions a little bit better.
women deal with their emotions better?
No, I'm saying that's how like men benefit from the relationship is
You learn the tools to manage
To deal with our
your
own
emotions.
emotions.
I think as much as you want to sit there and believe that women don't work on how to reel it in, they
I didn't
do.
say y'all don't. I didn't
I
say
didn't say that you did.
Oh, why you think I think that?
your facial expression.
I ain't said none of that.
As much as there's this misbelief that women don't know how to reel that in, I think that's not true. I think every woman knows, like, when you're in the moment, it's just like a feeling. I'm angry. I can't do this.
So
I'm
y'all
acting
know
a
how to
certain
reel
way.
it in.
And then
Y'all
you
just don't.
reflect on that moment. You're going to have one slip up. It happens to everybody. You just get caught in the moment and you just acting. You're not thinking, you're acting. And when you come out of that moment, you have to
Who you think do that more?
do
men
some
or women?
self-healing. I think men do it just as much as women do it. Y'all just do it in a different way. Women actually do throw a temper tantrum. Yes, she's gonna scream and she's gonna throw some stuff over. Men do that in private. Y'all have y'all temper tantrums in private.
What?
Y'all handle that
Away from
differently.
you. What? Of course, that's the point. We handle it differently. I'm not gonna lash out at you,
But the
because
point that
I'm
I'm
emotional.
trying to
I'm
make-
gonna go in my own little world and have my emotional breakdown to myself without taking it out on you when I'm the one who emotional and whatever could have happened.
But the point
That's
is that
being
I know it's
emotionally
just this
mature.
misconception that you don't know how to reel it in. But when you come out of that moment, you are telling yourself, I can't do that again. So now you're trying to figure out ways that I can do that differently. Women do reflect on those moments and take away how to be better in the next situation. So yeah, when I get angry next time, I am going to walk outside and I'm going to go do something different than I did last time. But you can't just expect somebody to just come out and be like, oh, I know how to regulate my emotions. No, that's also something you learn as a kid. If your parents let you throw a tantrum all the time, that's how you know to act out. That's what gets your way. Whereas if you didn't have that space to do that, you know to take that in the bag and figure it out.
Punk, you think men have more emotional intelligence than women?
Yes.
Explain. Please explain.
I just
Please
did.
explain.
You just helped me. I just did, and you helped me.
Re-explain for
If
us.
you're gonna say we get into an argument and men and women have tantrums, you just throw you have your tantrum outwardly at me, and I go have my tantrum somewhere else. That's me dealing with my emotions.
So in the next situation, do you figure out how to, not get so worked up and be as angry? Do you know how to problem solve so you don't get yourself in that space where you have to privately go punch a wall
It
and get
depends
angry?
on if you do whatever you did that made me mad again. Like, I can't dictate that. But if I'm sitting here like I want to go off on you, and instead of going off, I'm going to go in the back. I'm going to go whatever. So it don't get worse where you already done threw your fucking tantrum.
So what you're saying is you don't have to figure out some kind of way to de-escalate.
I did de-escalate when you said I walked away and had my
I don't
tantrum
mean
over there.
I don't mean like
de-escalated.
de-escalate the situation with me. I mean with yourself. Do you go in the back and you still huffing and puffing, or is the time after you had your little self tantrum? Do you think, oh no, instead of blowing up, let me just take some calming deep breaths? And
I didn't blow up. You're sitting here saying I didn't blow up. I went in there to myself. Whatever I say to myself don't matter. Because I didn't say it to you.
She still consider that as a blow up though, even though
to
you're
who?
in private.
You don't even know what I just did in private.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
She hears you back
That's
there.
the whole point.
If you back there flipping tables over like, I can't stand this place, that's not quiet. Everybody's involved still.
That's assuming
I flipped the table
happened.
in public. You just went in the back and hit it and made it seem
And
like you didn't do that.
Who gonna
That's
look
actually
like
a facade.
Whose emotions are more in control?
You can't even handle the anger to just have. You gotta hide it. Like,
how am I hiding it? Because you flipped the table in public and embarrassed yourself being emotional, and I didn't.
there's nothing
Now
wrong with
I'm
expressing
hiding.
your emotions. I might not feel
Then she
embarrassed.
said, "Why men can't be emotional? Because I'm hiding. When I go handle my emotions in private, I'm hiding from them. How? Because I didn't flip a
is
table in
that
public.
you shouldn't have to hide. You should be able to openly show your emotion. I'm not saying that you got to flip the table too, but you should be allowed to openly express that you are angry and not be belittled by some woman who thinks you should be a man. Because being a man doesn't necessarily mean that I ignore everything that's happened to me and I don't have no reaction. You could be a man and still be angry. You can be a man
Yes, I
and
am.
be sad. You don't have to
I'm
hide
angry.
that from anybody. You don't have to.
You arguing with your guy and you throw a tantrum and he walk off You don't know he angry?
I do.
Exactly. So you know I'm angry. I'm not hiding anything. I'm just making a
but
choice.
The point is that you're not letting. If you were angry, I would prefer if my boyfriend said, "I'm upset and this is how this is. I just want to vent right now." I would give him that space, especially if even in an argument.
And here's the thing: being emotionally mature. If I know that's not what's about to happen, I'm gonna walk away instead of just blowing up like you just did. Because you didn't say, "Hey, I'm angry. I need to express XYZ." You just blew up. But
I work in
because
customer
said,
service,
"All right,
and I
let me
have people
chill."
blow up on me every day. But I know how to take that and be like, "I understand you're frustrated. I'm frustrated too. Let's fix that."
That's a nice line. I understand
Yeah,
you're
it's
frustrated.
a
I'm
customer service
frustrated.
line. You know shit you telling your spouse.
That is some stuff I would tell my spouse.
So now you on the job. I would be looking at
No,
you
I'm
like,
not on the
what?
job, but I know how to
You working me
de-escalate.
now?
That's a skill that works outside of work too. You don't
So
know how to
you just
de-escalate a
said-
situation?
You just said, yeah, I'm calm as the Chicago breeze.
Even after I have
don't
my
be-
little fit, I'm still gonna take a deep breath and figure out how we're gonna get this together.
So who's more emotionally mature in that at that moment when you just blew up and I decided to walk off so I don't blow up? Who's being more emotionally mature?
What if it's this? You've been getting on my nerves.
All right.
This isn't her first rodeo, guys.
So whatever you want to do, because you gonna keep avoiding. So however you want to go about it.
I don't think that means I'm emotionally immature because I just had this one moment and I blew up. Because
If a kid
9
throw
times
a
out of
tantrum,
10,
why do kids
I
throw
have been
tantrums?
holding it in for this whole time.
'Cause they're
And you
emotional.
don't, kids let that build
And they
up.
not mature enough to handle their emotions.
So what you saying,
correctly,
women
right?
are kids?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I feel like men are more emotionally mature than women. I don't even believe
Haven't
the
heard that
notion
take
that
before.
women mature faster than men.
Why you don't believe that?
I just don't.
You just said women don't mature.
Yes, I just said that. I don't believe
roll
that.
back.
You say women don't mature faster than men.
No.
Why don't you believe that?
I just don't.
You
I
got
feel
some
like
examples.
I feel like when you
Please
look at
start listing some
when you
examples.
look at the way the world is going and the way things are set up, men go through whatever they go through early in life as they mature, and while women feel like they're so mature, you've been chasing the wrong guy most of the time. Then it's not until you in your 30s where it's like, oh, now I want the guy that's this and that, and now you're finally maturing into what it really should be.
Like you serious?
Yes.
You dead serious?
So you saying because they picked the wrong guy early that
I don't think that's it. I think women mature faster than men, and it's mostly because of the situation that men put them in.
Y'all mature
Okay.
because of the situation we put y'all in.
Elaborate on that.
This is why
Elaborate.
they-
If you really think about it, every
She
situation
got
where a
some
woman
going.
is getting super emotional is because a man says something. Now you can take that however you want to, but that's the main
that's
point.
both ways.
And you trying to say that we're not emotionally mature, but a lot of women, a lot of girls have to mature faster. They have to grow up
Why?
because of the situations
When
that they're
y'all
in.
get it, when y'all get 18,
And it has nothing to do with a boy.
What?
You said that women don't mature emotionally fast enough because they dating the wrong
Who's
dudes.
supposed to go find a job faster? Whose responsibilities put on earlier?
That's not how things are going now. It's you supposed to go to school, but I don't see any push for. I'm not seeing this push that you talking about for boys to hurry up and go get a job. If you're not going to school, yes, I can understand you getting a job. It's the same with women though. I've heard plenty of stories where a girl decided she was not going to go to school. She was going to do whatever she wanted to do, and her mama gave her the ultimatum: you either going to go be free and not live in my house, or go get a job. That's the same thing.
I think it happened far quicker. For
No, it really
boys
doesn't.
than-
And if you a woman
than
and you
girls.
acting promiscuous, then of course you're gonna have to act like you grown. Since you out here being grown, you've never heard somebody say that to a girl. Since you want to be fast and act like you grown, you need to get a job. You need to get your life together. Cause she acting fast. She
I haven't
grown.
heard that, but I mean, I'm not saying that's not true. I haven't heard it.
And that could be some girl who just flirting with boys at 15 and her mama is just not having that. Now she grown. She got to hurry up and grow up. She got to figure herself out.
And boys hear that at 13 when they finally get some. And it's all you're smelling yourself. You think you a man now because you done. So what you saying?
I don't believe that.
What about the notion of you got to be the man of the house? You a little kid, but since it ain't no man there,
I don't think
you
that's
got to
right,
be the man of
period.
the house.
You're a little kid. You can't possibly be the man
But
of the
does it
house.
happen?
I'm pretty sure it does happen, but I don't agree with it. I don't think that's right.
Was your mama
Heard that a
telling
lot
you to be
growing
the
up.
woman of the house?
No, because I had two parents, and I could just be a kid. They wanted me to go to school, and she was on my ass.
A lot of boys it don't happen like that for them.
Well, I can't speak for boys. I grew up in all girls.
There
But I can
you
speak
go.
for women, how it is to be a woman, because that's what I am, a woman.
Yeah, you lash out and all that. Why we be going to the back?
Look, that's
Keeping
normal.
our emotions calm.
When you go to therapy, they explain that that's actually normal. You're allowed to have that feeling, okay? You're allowed.
these
They give you the
to
phone
have-
batons to hit each
Each
other.
other.
with.
That's why these kids
Yeah,
acting the way
you
they
go to
acting. 'Cause
therapy. They let you have your one scream, and then it's time to talk about why you did that. That's the process. You lash out, and now it's time to think, why did I do that?
Yeah, until somebody lash out and shoot up something, and then think, why did
That's
I do
different.
that?
Yeah,
Now
if
it's
you were
different.
shooting up stuff, then
Now
you
it's
didn't want to
different.
talk about it.
That's what stuff progresses.
Because you're
to.
making choices. It's a difference when you're making a choice to hurt other people because you're hurt,
When
and
you lash
to
out, you
just
might hurt
lash
somebody.
out.
When you lash out, you might hurt somebody.
But
Words
there's
hurt.
a difference between when you're intentionally saying stuff to hurt somebody's feelings and just saying stuff and it just so happens to touch you in a personal way.
If you're lashing out and you say something that is not intentional,
If the
No,
shoe
not
fits,
if you lashing out. If you lashing out,
right.
It don't
If
mean
I'm
it's
just having a vent
intentional.
session and you get upset about one line, if the shoe fits, babe, I don't know what to tell you. Wear it.
All right, moving on. And we'd even stay on topic, but that was great.
It's sexual mating rituals, and we code it with, oh, that's just a tribal dance, and stop it. It's a mating ritual. It's the black woman showing you that she can perform certain sexual positions and move a certain way pre-sex. That's it. It's been going on for thousands of years, and you can say it's spirituality, it's connectivity, but let me tell you something. When I'm watching Pornhub and women are doing the same damn dances and stuff, they're fucking. So there's no difference. So what I am saying is
Yes.
a problem
Plain
in the
and simple.
community where women are twerking with their 6-year-old daughters on Instagram. And
Is twerking a problem?
come on, Killa.
I'm here for it. It is a problem, but I'm here for it. Y'all, we can't just be twerking everywhere, okay? Not
We're
at the red,
twerking. We're
everywhere.
twerking.
not at the red
On
lights,
people's
on the
cars.
headlights. No, I
Yeah,
can't
it's
stand
happening.
when a group of women hop out of their little Nissan and just start twerking in the middle of the street. No, I got places to go. Get out of the way.
Listen to our TikTok.
Yeah, I hear all the stuff y'all saying, but no, this is coming from my heart. I don't. If you're gonna be disruptive with it, no, I can't stand. But if it's out of the way but entertaining,
What you consider
Okay.
disruptive? Like
You
twerking
just-
with your little daughter is not disruptive.
no, that's inappropriate.
Okay.
Because it could
yeah.
be not.
Twerking on headlights and whatever else is inappropriate
if
too,
you
right?
stop in the flow of things, like
Okay,
we walking
okay, I get
and
what you
we got to
mean.
stop because you twerking to do a TikTok. No. You stop in traffic. No. You breaking up what's happening. It's good. It's great. It's happening. And we got to have a twerk fest in the middle of this. If we had a party and that's the vibe, sure. You at a block party, that's what you and your girls doing. Sure. You want to do it at home or in your front yard or somewhere else that's not in the way of people who are trying to get on with their lives and do their job. Sure. I think twerking with your kids is inappropriate. You shouldn't be doing that. Honestly, is that the example you want to set for your kids? Is that's what
The
they want to
example
see?
that you here for?
That's not what I'm not here for that.
You just said you here for twerking, so why is a bad example for your kid?
Not in front of kids. I don't twerk in front of my kid.
Why is it a bad example?
Because I wouldn't want my daughter bending over and twerking. As a kid, absolutely not.
But as
when
an
she
adult, it's
becomes
okay.
a young adult, that's her business. She's a young adult. At 18, I can't tell her no. She can legally do whatever she wants. But as a kid, absolutely not. My mama wasn't letting me twerk around the house. She barely let us wear shorts too small. So twerking was off the table immediately.
As it should be.
Right. As a mother, it does not sit right with my soul to watch my daughter twerk as a small child. It doesn't sit right with me. I would immediately be shamed.
So you never went to any well you younger than us, but any twerk parties, juke parties, none of that. Mm. What about you, Punk? Any juke parties back in your day?
Couple, few.
12, 13 years old, 14 years
14.
13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Joking. That's basically
same as twerking.
Twerking, huh?
Dry humping. Whatever you want to call it.
So it's okay for you to indulge in your younger years, but
no.
Now you're get off my lawn.
No,
Oh God!
It wasn't okay when I was that age.
Give it to me, man.
It was a great time.
Spill the tea.
It was a great time. That don't mean it was okay. We did a lot of stuff that was fun, but it wasn't okay. And I would not want my kids doing it. But
the rink on 87
was busting.
Oh, you was in there doing it?
In there, Markham.
House of Kicks.
House of Kicks. Damn, I can't remember. The Hall, you know.
I heard some stories from
basement.
other people about the hall, so
Friends' basement, whatever. We had, you know.
It happens. Can
It was
we
a good
really
time.
stop our kids from twerking and joking and all of
no,
this?
I think as soon as they get
Not
out of
until-
their eyesight,
Not until they bring footwork and like just dancing back, you know.
and just dancing
Punk
back.
statement
You know
is
how-
if you
just
can
dancing.
footwork, then you
You know how in the 90s before juke
you gotta
really
learn how to do
hit,
some other dances. You can't
yeah,
just be
you know
twerking.
people
Like,
was footworking and doing they little set dances. They had group dances.
They still got
you know.
those TikTok.
Yeah,
It's
they
just
twerking
TikTok
in them.
dances now.
No.
Oh, they
Nah, they
TikTok
got, they
dances.
got some that they got a lot of them that's not
They just
twerking.
got to get back to that. That's all.
but I think that's what you want
It
to
ain't
see.
going
That's
that
what
way,
everybody want to
but-
see on the internet, though. That's what they doing it for, the internet. Megan Thee Stallion almost broke Twitter.
Yeah,
She
on that
almost
couch.
do that every other. Yes, it was crazy.
Right, no comment.
That's what's on the internet. It got a lot of likes. So
got a lot of attention.
you know, if
So
you're
y'all do it for the attention.
you're another big booty woman, you trying to go viral on the internet, get that that check.
So y'all do it for the attention.
Killer don't twerk.
She said she for twerking.
She
so.
twerking. She twerking the privacy
I'm
of her
twerking
home.
Okay,
in my
so
living
women-
room
women
after
do
I
it.
vacuum the floor up.
Women do it for attention.
Twerking in the basement after I put the laundry in the dryer. Like,
So women do it for attention.
I just know that's what's gonna get you a lot of likes. If you throw that thing back, it's gonna be a couple
I
misses
see
who gonna
we
hit
ain't
that
getting no
screen a
yes or
couple
no's
times.
from you today. We ain't gonna get no yes or no's from you. I
Y'all
like
not
it
gonna
like
catch
that.
me. I
Very
seen.
strategic.
I like it like that. Don't worry
Y'all
about it.
Very strategic.
Y'all be getting. Y'all smart.
So, Killer, we noticed you in the comments on.
I'm a
on the-
ninja. I
Yeah.
just slid in. I slide out.
We noticed you in the TikTok comments, man. What was that? What was all of that about? Shout out to the TikTok community.
Well, first, the missus was not feeling me wanting to propose to my man.
They wasn't. Hold on, the men weren't.
No, they weren't.
Okay.
It was a couple
I
men.
saw some men.
It was
That
a
was
couple-
good. I was
call 'em?
surprised.
What you call them?
The missus is.
Don't do that.
The men's because I didn't know what
Don't
she
do
said.
that.
The men's circus. I didn't know what she
The
said.
missus is.
Don't do that. We just men.
But no, I saw a lot
It was
more
a couple
support
in there.
than
They
I
were like,
thought
"Yeah,
I
if
was
she
gonna
want to
see.
propose, by all means." I was like, "Yes, you."
Now, who was trying to give you a problem? What was their takes on it?
Somebody called me desperate. I'm a pick me.
Pick
I
me.
did
They
see
love.
that.
They love them
If
pick
he doesn't
me's.
propose, that means he don't like you. Then why he here? Why he here? Why we got 2 kids? Why he here? He could easily go back to wherever he was at. Why he here? He could be talking to 5 other girls, but he here with me. He sleep in my bed.
Y'all bed.
You right. It's our bed. Absolutely. I'll let you have that. It's our bed.
I got your back, big dog. Don't worry about it.
If you don't want to be married, then...
How he feel about you saying that?
He was very indifferent. He was a little shocked because he was like, oh, you got some stuff in the works? And I was like, no. I don't, actually.
Did he advise you against it?
He did say something to this tune of, if you ever propose to me, I just tune that out because
I'm telling you no.
He said
so she gonna tune it out. He give you what?
He could have said I was crazy. He could have said I was doing the most. I'm all of those things.
You tuned him out.
Yeah, I was cooking dinner. I was listening to the sizzling of the chicken.
You see the emotional immaturity? Y'all got the space to talk to us.
I didn't blow up. I didn't.
I tuned him out.
I saying some shit I ain't like.
I ain't even listening.
But the opposite,
what I'm coming for?
The opposite end of that is I could have stormed out of that kitchen like, "What you say to me?"
You don't know what he said. So what's the point of him talking?
I could have listened and blew up, but I decided, you know what? I'm gonna save my energy and go ahead and cook this dinner. Let me get this dinner together. I heard y'all be on TikTok talk about women now get off work and cook dinner, so I was like, let me get in here and cook this dinner real quick. Let me get this rice going so we can have this sesame chicken. Like, I wasn't hearing none of that. He was just talking.
That was one of my favorite episodes, I swear.
That's that maturity I be talking about. It's talking about.
It has nothing to do with me being mature now. I'm petty. I'm petty all the way.
That's about being mature.
I'm very mature, but I'm also petty. I'm mature in the ways that I'm petty too. I don't do kid stuff. I do adult petty things.
I don't do kids.
I'm not going to disclose what those adult petty things are either, so don't ask me. I like for it to be a surprise for my victims.
You got any smoke for the comments or any comments for the comment section?
I ain't really. No, I've been in the comments commenting, but
I still got smoke with the comments. Some man asked what a good woman is. And I wasn't answering none of y'all right away because I don't have to. Y'all answered it yourself. It was just a bunch of you're deflecting. I answered the question. It's whatever you think a good woman is. I could say what I think a good woman is all day. She could be honest. She could cook, clean. It's always going to be someone that's going to be like, no, she has to make her own money and she has to go out there and do this and she got to do this. So it really doesn't matter what I say.
So you think it's goalpost moving when it comes to that question, huh?
It is. You got a different idea of a good woman than I do. What if my idea of a good woman is somebody who go out and pour shots in my mouth and feed me grapes when we come back home? That's automatically going to be different than your good woman. You want her to come home and cook and clean.
So do you have a breakdown of what your good woman is? Honest, cook, clean?
Well, I think you got to be honest. That's a good you just got to be a good person. Like, be honest. Don't lie. Don't be deceptive. That's not fun. You gotta be clean. Like, you gotta help clean. Like, you gotta have some kind of drive to be to help in the house. You gotta have some kind of
Let me specify by saying to your partner, because I don't want them to. I don't want to throw you off.
Like what?
What do you have to? What is a good woman to a?
I hate to bust this out here on this Twitter, but I actually used to talk to women, and my preference in a woman is I like honest people. I like people that are also personable, and I like when you're emotional. I love an emotional man. I love it.
That you tune out.
No, he wasn't being emotional, so I didn't tune. That's why I tuned him out. When he's expressing his emotions, I love it. I'm here for it. We can have a hug. You could cry if you want to. I'll bring you the tissues. I love someone who can show their emotions because that means that you're a human. You have a heart. I don't want a heartless. Oh, I can't cry because that's embarrassing. No, cry, babe. We sad.
Y'all sad together.
We sad.
I feel what you feel.
I like what you like.
Sometimes it is not that. Sometimes it really is. Well, you sad, and I'm gonna console you because this is a hard time for you. But I like someone I like a person.
So
you really don't have to have much.
Yours
to be
is just a good person.
Good woman. Yes, you just have to be
a good woman is a good person.
Good human being.
Okay.
Don't come in here on that. I mean, you can come in here on that BS. I'm gonna be on it too.
But you ain't gonna deal with it. Oh, are you gonna indulge and just be on it too?
Oh yeah, I be matching energies with people.
Any smoke for the comment section or? Do you want to answer what a good woman is to you?
I can't remember offhand no comments that I had no smoke for. So
I saw some guy trying to educate you. Like, oh, you should have.
People be on there educating you. All I see
They
is
be
people be
trying
like,
to.
he packed her up so eloquently. That was one. I'll never forget that. What did he pack up? I'm not quite sure. Couldn't even remember what we was talking about to tell you how you packed me up. But I just remember that clear as day. And I was like, the audacity. You're on TikTok. Bye.
But now to the dude that did say something about the Lori Harvey thing, giving them an easy out. It wasn't an easy out. It was just giving them an example of how women do men, which make it easy for men to feel like, why am I out here chasing, courting, or any of that? It wasn't like this is how women are, how women are, and that's why we doing. It's just an example of like, hey, if this how women act, we see this, and y'all praise it.
I saw.
Why am I gonna? Why am I?
I saw a lot of people changing, a lot of women changing their profile picture to Lori Harvey sitting next to the goat, sitting next to a goat.
I have not seen that, but I would love to see it.
When they broke up, I saw a lot of women changing their profile pictures.
Yeah, because they condoned it. A lot of women felt like what she did was okay. Yes, I heard a lot of women. She young, she this and that, and she out here. She an Instagram model. She beautiful, and she just want to live life. Condoning the fuckery, and then is when she 30 something. Then it's like, why men ain't chasing me? What? Because this is what was transpiring. Like, and this is what y'all do. And then y'all wonder why men not chasing it. Men would rather wait till a woman knows what she want, done playing games, and they're gonna say something. They're gonna show interest. They're gonna, all right, I know what I want in a man, XYZ. Why am I finna go chase some woman who don't know what she want?
So she left because she didn't want to be in a relationship, and now she don't know what she wants?
You said she what?
So if you leave because you know you don't want a relationship, but you want to do something else with your life.
Why was you with somebody 2 years if you didn't want to be in a relationship?
The same could be asked for of a couple men.
It could be, but I'm asking, even for, you could say all people, period. Why are you in a relationship for all this time if you don't want to be in a relationship? The man ain't do nothing to hurt you. He ain't do nothing wrong. He done did a whole lot of stuff for you and everything so peachy cream until he proposed. Now is you don't want to be in a relationship.
It's a trauma response.
Trauma for who?
It's an abandonment thing. If you've been abandoned, then you don't like to be alone.
Abandoned by who?
It doesn't matter who. You've been abandoned. So your response to that is, I need to be with somebody. I need to be in a relationship. I don't like to be alone. I'm going to be in this relationship. And you also probably, well, not probably, but you could also have a commitment thing. I can't commit because I feel like you're going to leave. That could be a reason why.
That's emotionally immature.
Men have that same trauma response too.
Okay. Again, this is why men ain't just.
I know somebody.
Oh, I'm not.
Actually, that's real life. Their problem. I don't want to be alone, but I don't want to be in a relationship and be married. So my compromise is we can just be boyfriend or girlfriend, and I'll give you whatever you ask me for, a baby, a house, a car, but I don't want to be alone, and I feel like everybody leaves me, so I'm going to manipulate you into believing that if you leave me, I'm going to be destroyed without you. So you don't leave, you stay here, but you're also not going to ask me for a marriage because I'm giving you whatever you want. But I also don't have to surrender to a marriage. I don't have to have that commitment.
But you giving them all the stuff that you would get in a marriage. What would that matter?
Does that still sound right to you?
You buying a house, you buying cars, all this stuff, but you don't want to get married.
Right.
But you're still sitting in this relationship, going through all the things that you go through in a marriage.
Do you want to hear the kicker? That person is a man.
I believe you. I believe you.
So, I mean, you the only person that could tell me why a man would do that. I don't know why a man would do that. As a woman, if you're not willing to give me what I want, I'm out. I'm sorry. I gave you as much as I could. I let you have time to think about it. I tried to change your mind. I tried to make you...
So his woman don't want to get married?
She does.
And he don't?
He doesn't.
Okay.
The issue
so what do you do?
The issue for me is I'm giving you what you want. and you leave. That was the Lori Harvey issue. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm doing the right
so
thing.
So what I'm saying is that's a trauma response.
And you leave. Dude ain't left. You ain't talking about dude left. She left.
It's you asked me why would I be in a relationship and do all of this stuff for you
and leave. Dude ain't went nowhere. He's still there. He's still in a relationship. They still together, right? They just ain't married, but he doing all the married stuff. She left.
But if the girl who does want to leave is fed up with that, yes, you giving me what I want.
That's a different situation.
No, it's not the same. I mean, it is not different.
Okay.
It could be the same thing. You asked me why I said it's a trauma response.
Everything she wants.
That's a trauma response. You don't want to be alone, but you don't want to have commitment.
He's not giving her everything she wants.
It doesn't matter. You could take that part of the equation entirely. It's a trauma response. I don't want to be alone, so I'm going to be in a relationship with you, but I don't want commitment. So when you ask me for commitment, I'm going to leave. I'm not saying that Lori Harvey is right or wrong. I'm just saying if you want to know why that is a trauma response.
You're saying... You saying too, the situations are different. You talking about a person in a relationship and a person who left the relationship. That's two different situations.
But you're saying she's left because she doesn't want to be alone?
Right.
Or she doesn't want to commit?
Because she doesn't want the commitment. But you asked me why she would be in a relationship if she didn't want to get married. Because I don't want to be alone is the answer.
So go be with the futures that you was with of the world who don't care.
But I don't want that. They don't give me the feeling that I get with you.
So you were wasting people's time. This is why men aren't chasing. This is why men aren't out here.
But I'm not getting to all that. You asked me why would somebody do that, and the answer is.
The question, though.
But you asked a question that you asked that I'm answering is why would I be in a relationship with someone who doesn't want to get married? Because I don't want to be... why would I want to be in a relationship with someone who does want to get married? Because I don't want to be alone, but I don't want that commitment. So as soon as you threatening me with commitment or you're offering it to me, I feel like I can't give that to you, so I'm going to leave.
Okay, cool. And that's why I'm going to wait till the lady who know what she want and show me the interest and whatever.
But at that point, you've already wasted all your time. So you're just saving yourself from the next girl who going to do that to you. If you're Michael B. Jordan in the situation, you've already been dumped. You've already wasted your time. So what you waiting for the next one after
That's
her?
why men aren't chasing, aren't seeking, because I'm going to just do what I need to do for me, live my life,
honestly,
get
y'all
my
don't have to
up.
chase. When the girls was on the internet saying they would chase after the men, y'all was getting kind of worried. Y'all was saying that was doing too much. What? So now you saying you don't want to chase after a woman, but a woman will chase after you. Yeah. So now what? You at this weird stalemate where you don't want to be approached and asked to be in a relationship, but you are tired of approaching people to be in a relationship.
Who said that?
That's just what it sounds like.
No, who said that men don't want to be approached? Where did you just come up with that?
Y'all, not y'all. The men were getting upset about me proposing. That's in a way approaching you.
Proposing and approaching me.
So if a woman asks you on a date and she planned the whole day, are you going to A, accept, or B, be like, I gotta plan the day. I gotta ask you, girl, bye, and hang up the phone. Like,
no, I'm going to accept. Why wouldn't I?
Because that's not traditional.
What's not traditional? Women
for
taking
a woman
men on
to
dates?
Take you on a date.
Why isn't that traditional?
I mean, it sounds like the society's consensus is a man has to court a woman. So if a woman courted a man, that's not traditional.
Do you really read the comments? Because society consensus is they need to court each other. That's the problem. That's why men aren't doing it anymore. Because y'all want us to put all this effort out and y'all ain't putting shit back.
So
this should be mutual. We both should be able to do it.
But somebody has to initiate it. Y'all don't just come in the middle and be like, you want to meet? Yeah, I want to meet you too. Like, it's not like that. Somebody has to walk up and say, hi, I'm so-and-so. Or, hi, I'm so-and-so, and I like you.
Yes.
I got to slide into your DMs, or you got to slide into mine. We're not just meeting in the middle like we're on a date.
But if you playing hard to get or like whatever, no, I'm not finna keep chasing you. I'm not finna keep putting out. No.
So let me jump in real quick with this quick question. Do modern women want traditional men?
No.
What do you think?
Yes.
Can you explain what your no is?
I think modern women want parts of traditional, but not a whole traditional
So
man.
you want a traditional man?
No,
when
you
want it and how
want
you
certain
want it.
parts of a traditional man, but you want a modern man for the most part. You want him
Right,
to have
you only-
one or two traditional traits, and the rest of him be
The
modern
main
and
ones.
forward thinking. You want him to take those traditional ideas and make them modern. So that you meet my modern woman. You have to understand that yes, you can be the breadwinner, but I'm also gonna make some money too. And it's not just gonna go to whatever you say. We're gonna make choices together. That's modern thinking. Traditional is the man makes all the decisions.
That wasn't without input though. See, I think that's where y'all fuck up. Like, y'all think men just made decisions and didn't talk to the wife. No, there was conversations. He just made the decision.
But at the end of the day, and at the end of that conversation, the decision is yours to make the final say on. So you just asked me for my opinion. I just consulted. We're consulting on the problem, but you're going to make the decision that you think is best. So you make the decision as the man. I'm just a consultant. I'm just here to weigh the pros and cons
It's
with
still
you.
gonna work. It still works like that for the most part, though.
Why you mean? Why you say that?
I mean, regardless, like, consulting with your spouse or whatever, it's like, hey, you know what you think we should do? But at the end of the day, it's certain shit you just need to let the man lead on. Yes, I will consult you. That's what you're there for. I want to get your input, your take. It don't even mean I won't take heed to it. But yes, I'm going to make the decision 9 times out of 10.
That's not what modern women want. They want to be
Y'all
included
don't want
in the
traditional.
position.
That's what
So
you can't
that's
say.
why
You
I
want
said-
traditional, but you don't want it either.
The
It
same
don't
could be
work
said
like
about
that.
a woman. You want a woman to have two small little ratchet. She gotta have a little bit of this mixed into a traditional woman.
A little bit of what?
Whatever. She
That
gotta
freak.
have a little bit of
They
something
was
in
freaky
her.
as hell back then. Cut it out. How you think they was having 10 kids? That shit wasn't no non-freaky shit.
No, I don't think that was.
Okay.
I
So
think
you-
it was some freaky shit,
So you
but it wasn't
think
that.
you think traditional women do want? I mean, modern women do want traditional men.
Yes, they say it all the time. I see so many women. What happened to the old school guys? I got me an old soul. I need an old school guy. And
You just haven't talked to an old school guy before. You could be preaching that all you want to. I'm a modern woman. I want an old school man. As soon as you talk to that old school man, he gonna give you 5 reasons why this is a bad idea. Because he
These
wants
is
you to
people
just
with
sit in the
daddies,
passenger seat
old
and go
school
with him.
daddies.
He wants to
Like,
make the decision. So right off the bat, you X that out immediately. Then you change. As a woman, as a modern woman, I want a modern man who has some traditional
what traditional
Is that
you
fair
want?
though?
traits.
What
Is
traditional
that
No,
fair
traits you
that I
want?
want to be all the way modern, but then I
No,
want you
I
to
don't
be
think that's fair, but
modernly traditional?
I don't think that's fair, but I think that men ask the same of women, and that's not fair either.
How?
You
How
want
are
me
we
to come
asking you
home
to
and
be
cook
both?
and clean and take care of the kids all day, but I also have to work a 9 to 5.
You're choosing to do if
So
I'm being
if
traditional.
you said, babe, I want you to take care of these kids, but I also want you to have a job, and I say, no, I'm just gonna be a stay-at-home mom. What's your response?
Cool. My wife ain't worked for 10 years. She was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't give 2 fucks.
You
We
different.
talked
That's
about
not
it
the
and
same
had it
for
that way
everybody.
intentionally.
For some people, that's
no
really not a
half-ass.
conversation. For some couples, that is not a conversation. The conversation might be, we gonna have kids and we gonna have this home, but then it stops there. You still gotta go back to work, because at the end of it, I feel like I'm making all this money and paying for all this stuff, and you not doing nothing but sitting here with these kids. But that's a job.
It is. It's worse than going to work, really.
It really is. I work a 9 to 5 job and I have 2 kids at home. It is. I would not recommend it. But that's not a conversation for some people. Like, some people don't get that option. I gotta work my full-time job and I gotta take care of the kids.
Your
and I
guy
gotta
work?
cook for you and the kids. And
Your
you gonna
guy-
want me to
your guy
clean.
work?
Yes.
He don't help you take care of the kids.
He helps when he's at home.
He don't help you cook and clean.
No, I'm the cook. He cleans, but I'm the cook.
Okay, so it's bound.
But
you
my
acting like you
situation
doing
is different than that.
But you saying it like I go to work and I take care of kids, and not as if he don't do none of that.
I'm a modern woman with a modern man with traditional qualities.
What traditional qualities?
Like, he likes to take the lead on everything, but he will also help take care of the home. He understands that this is a partnership. We got to do this together. We got to make the money together to support our kids. But when it comes to big things like getting the car fixed, that's his job, right? That's what y'all like to do, right? When it's time to make the really, really, really big decisions, we consult on those together.
Hey, let's go fix this car. This shit gonna be fun. It's gonna be hella fun.
That actually, he does like to fix cars, so that works out for him, though.
Good.
But he helps out at home, but he also likes to have the traditional role as the man. He likes to be the breadwinner of the family. When we were in a position where it wasn't like that, he would always talk about that. That really kind of bummed him out.
When what? He wasn't the breadwinner?
Yes.
So it sounds like you guys want to be traditional, but he maybe not financially in a place with us.
No, he does want to be. He used to say that made him upset all the time, but he also takes care of the home and he helps with our children. That's just not my sole responsibility. I'm sure if one day I had decided, I just can't cook tonight, can you take it? He would be like, yes. He don't know how to cook everything. It's gonna have to be something easy for sure, but he would offer.
Would you like a traditional lifestyle?
Hell no.
No, I'm not a submissive woman. I don't ever think I will be. No, that plays the entire. That's the whole role, sir. You are confused.
Submissive is part of the traditional
It might not
role.
be. I'm bowing down to you when you walk out the door, but you want me to put my pride aside and follow after you, and I just can't do that with a man. Sorry.
Put your pride aside and follow after me.
I can't be an independent woman in a traditional submissive relationship. I can't be this.
Why are you throwing submissive in the?
Because that's in there. That's in there.
You don't think men submit to women?
No.
Okay.
Well, not always. I've seen some men do it.
I'll let the commenters get you.
I've seen some men. They not going.
In a relationship, y'all submit to each other. Submission is
at
not
this
a
point,
bad thing.
The comments is corrupted because they all your fans. So
I don't know these people either.
You don't have to know these people. You think Nicki Minaj know everybody that's her fans?
You got fans now.
They gonna come like, oh no, these women don't want traditional men. He's right.
Y'all don't.
He packed her up so eloquently.
Good luck with that.
It's okay. I see him. I can see him now coming with their boxes and wrapping paper to help you pack me up like a present.
It's too much pressure to want us to be traditional and not traditional.
So I think as a man, you should just decide what you want to do and then pick women that fit that lifestyle.
Absolutely.
You could weed out a woman who's not what you own.
Absolutely.
Just like a woman can
options.
weed out a man who not what she on. You trying to get married right now? I'm in the streets right now. I can't do that. I'm outside. I'm over here.
Two things about the traditional thing. First, do you believe that if more men were financially stable, that more men would be traditional? And two, how are we expected to be in a traditional, marriage or lifestyle if we didn't see that coming up? Like, I grew up in a single.
Me too.
So why in my head am I supposed to be thinking, oh, I'm supposed to take care of everything, pay for everything, when I watched a grown woman do it by herself, pay for everything and take care of everything for herself?
I did too. So
where was that supposed to come across my radar?
So you want to know where it came across mine?
Yeah, let me hear.
Essentially, any activities I did, for the most part, my mother couldn't come to. Just like being present at like school stuff, or if I had activities going on, she wasn't, because she had to work. So when we went on field trips and all that stuff, yeah, she sent us. We had money, but she had to work, and I understood. Shout out moms. I don't hold that against her. But for me, I wanted my kids to be able to experience having a parent be at all of this stuff, being supportive, to see the support in the stands, at the assemblies, at the whatever it was. So I didn't want the mother of my kids, my wife, to have to go out and work and deal with the world, and then nobody was there for our kids because we both was out at work dealing with the world. So then my kid essentially will grow up like me, Like, dang, I ain't had nobody there for me. Or, you know, I had all these games and mama or daddy couldn't go because they was at work. I didn't want that.
And do you believe more men will be in traditional relationships if they were more financially stable?
Absolutely. I think that's the number one thing. Oh, we need 2 incomes for the household. But that shit killing the kids. It's killing families. Like, all of that. You got kids just sitting at home and they watching TV, or they on iPads, or, you know, they just outside and the parents at work. Like, yeah, that shit is a killer. Absolutely. Where if it was able to be ran off of one income and people had the freedom to still enjoy life, or it wasn't like, damn, we pinching pennies, or I gotta rob Peter to pay Paul. If that stress wasn't on people, I think people would be happier to have traditional relationships where you got somebody at home with the kids and taking care of home life, so that the house is actually a home.
To counter that, though, those men in those traditional relationships, didn't a lot of the time that they literally worked for 2 incomes, like literally worked 2 jobs, or literally were at work all day,
absolutely,
from sun up to sundown, and missed the whole day.
Mm-hmm.
So is that healthier than maybe both of y'all work and we both kind of miss a little, but we're both there for, we're both there for the child, but at different times?
That's the kind of growing up that I had. My mom worked the day and my dad worked overnight. So my dad would pick us up from school and keep us for the afternoon. He would be gone all night, sleep all day, and my mother would help us do all the daytime stuff. And it was like I had both of my parents at home. I had the guidance of both of them, but it would have been nice to have both of them. Like my dad not working all night and being tired. That was the difference, was that he was just tired. He would still come to my events, but he would just be dead tired. My mom, they didn't have a traditional relationship. So my mom was going to school and working a job, but she would still make it to all of our stuff. Like, she would make it a point. So that's where I kind of drew from my relationships from. Yeah, we can both still work this, but we just got to have boundaries so we can be there for our kids. My job, I don't care what's happening there. I'm going for my kids. If my kid call and say she need me, I'm gone. I don't care about this job. Right. I'll figure it out later. But that was what I have with my parents. When it was time for them to be there for me or my sisters, they would come. When they was coming fresh off of work, they would be tired, but they was coming to support their kids, to be there for their kids.
That's good. That was possible.
Yeah, it sucks that I guess that culture is solely based off the finances.
Absolutely.
We got to find something better than the working.
We got to start paying people what they're actually owed.
Okay, there you go.
And stop with the inflation.
There you go.
Crank it down. There's no reason that groceries are $1 million.
Because
now y'all want to take some tax off, acting
right.
like that's gonna save some shit.
Come on now.
But anyway,
no, but I just don't believe like the concept of the man work, but if a man is just working and that's all he doing, he working himself to death and he ain't spending no time with his family. I don't care how much providing you providing.
No, that's definitely
you're not providing, like, you providing in a material way, but not in the way that's really gonna impact your kids. Like, yeah, they gonna have everything, but they still need their father present.
They need to know your personality.
Them that lessons that only a dad can teach you.
Yep, all of that. All right, we got what time? Oh, we at 58, but let's do one more little topic.
You want to pick a hot and spicy one?
One more little topic. I want to find it. Let's see if we can get triggered. Oh, no, not that one. Oh, this one.
Black woman, we've been duped. Can I talk about it? I'm going to talk about it. And shout out to Erica Lachey. I watched it live the other day. It was amazing, and she brought out some great...
Have black women been duped out of the traditional relationship where they had it easier? So this woman claimed.
Do you think they had it easier in traditional relationships?
Yes, in the general sense, looking at it, it looks really easy. I just gotta stay home and keep these kids entertained.
Because it's crazy
and
that
cook
y'all do
dinner.
all the same. Like, you saying you do all the same shit and got to go to work. Like, yeah, that would seem like it's harder than.
You know what?
just
Every
having
day
to
I
do
wake
all
up,
that.
I'll be like, I wish I didn't have to go to the job. At this point, I would rather sit here and clean this house all day. Absolutely.
Mm.
I don't want to work this full-time job. I'm tired. But I can see why some people would, like, if you don't have kids, if your main goal is not to
No,
have
we
a
talk about
family.
people with. No, we talk about
Yeah.
people with families and
So, do you
kids and
feel like
stuff.
y'all been duped?
Yeah.
Whoa! Our first answer of the night. Oh, and it is on the spiciest one.
I know some women are about to be mad, but listen, sis, it's just me. I don't
Explain
know
why.
about y'all. Like,
Explain
I don't
why.
know about y'all. I don't know. I just feel like there's just this like push that we have to. Everything has to be equal, and you know, on some level, I have to agree with you. Some things are just better left to a man, because as a woman, I just feel like y'all are best fit to handle that. Absolutely. But it's just like everything has to be you. You got to do it. And as somebody who was a single mother at one point and having to do everything, that shit was hard. And as soon as a man came in and was like, I got you, you can just relax.
Relief.
It was
a relief.
hard to do because it was like, no, I got to do everything. Like, I'm the mom. But it was a relief.
So, check this out. If you was a stay-at-home mom, traditional, whatever, and your guy worked, you don't feel like that would be equal?
No, it's not equal because he's going to have to work all the time to support everything that
I'm
me and my
saying
kids
if he
need.
didn't have to work 15 hours a day and he had a job where he made over 6 figures and it was in his normal 9-hour shift, you don't think that would be equal?
To sitting at home with these kids for 9 hours?
Whatever it is. I guess what I'm getting at is saying, like, the women feeling like they want it to be equal is part of the duped part, because it's like you saying the role that you had being a mother, you know, at home, a wife, whatever, like it was beneath whatever it was that a man was doing.
I think what really gets it is that you going to work and you dealing with these people, and yes, they're difficult. They're just like toddlers. You got to argue with them all day and make them do whatever your job is. You fighting through that job, but you coming home with a check at the end of that. I clock out of my job as being a mother. I put them kids to bed, and I just got to get in the shower and straighten up, because tomorrow it's gonna be the same.
But aren't we coming home with a check? Because what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine.
Well, that kind of depends on who your partner is.
Okay.
If you that partner where you pinching pennies and I ask you for a little and it's like, no, that's asking for too much. No, that's not the same as we get a check. That's you got a check and I'm asking for an allowance. I'm asking for just a little bit to put back into our home.
You look like you got something to say, but you're
And I
not
feel-
saying
Just
it.
bringing up all the worst scenarios.
And I feel
Why?
like
Why
no,
is that the worst?
happens.
Why
if
is
you
that
get into one
No, it
argument,
does. It
you gonna
does
get into
happen.
Yeah, 'cause
one
I don't think it's
argument
the
with
worst
that
scenario. It
stay-at-home
might
wife,
happen a lot.
and it's
They
gonna
probably
come up.
do.
This is our money. Remember, you said this was our money, and it's like, no, I did that job. You didn't go out there and put that house together. You wasn't fighting with these customers all day. That's actually my money. It always comes out. Every human does it. When you get into an argument and it's time to start sorting out what's whose fault is what, what belongs to who.
Right.
When you start dividing that
Throw it
line,
right in
it's
your
real
face,
quick.
huh?
No, that's my bank account. This credit card, that's on my name. That car is under mine. You think you about to leave and go somewhere? It's all in my name, babe. Like, what are you? It comes out real quick. It's the divide, right?
I
between
control
y'all. That's
you.
the stake in the argument. It's who got what, and it's really just a battle of, well, I got a little bit more leverage over you. This car in my name, so I could leave. Now you ain't got a car to get to work. It's that. It's
Hopefully
that.
you ain't dealing with him, but I get what she's saying though. I get what she's saying. But in the scheme of things, that's from just like, all right, we got into it perspective. I think he's asking from just a general perspective of life, you know. And,
Yeah, I think
what I'm doing is
generally-
what I'm doing is equal to what you're doing.
I just hate the narrative that somebody being at home making sure the kids, our next generation, and being there for the, you know, the home or whatever, like that's the lesser of going to work.
I don't think that it is the lesser.
But that's the narrative when it's saying I want to be equal. I want to go and work. I want to go and it's like you saying that men are way up here because we go to fucking work every day.
Well, I think it's also just like maybe she not phrasing it right. Maybe it's you making it seem like all I got is having these kids and taking care of them, and I want more. I have dreams. I have aspirations. I got stuff I'm trying to do, and I don't just want to be a home giver. My whole life is having a family. I want stuff. I want to have a big family. I want kids. I want everybody to be happy, but I also want to be rich. I also want money to support these kids, just like you do. I also have other stuff too.
When you say you have other stuff, do you express this to your partner?
Yes.
And do they encourage it?
Sometimes it depends on how realistic my goals.
So you know that shit be unrealistic.
Well, you know, sometimes you just being passionate and it's like, I want to rule the world, and he's like, you can't do that. Like, you just, can we think about something that you can do here? Locally?
I told my wife, before I go on the rant, I'm not asking for no criticism. Just listen to me. Just listen to me. Let me get it out.
And maybe that's all. That's all. Maybe it's just a case of I just needed somebody to hear that I have dreams, and everybody was just like, no, we don't want to hear that. Have your kids. So now I got to get in your face and aggressive with it because remember, I'm emotionally immature, so I got to take it to the next level.
Preach.
And now I got to get in your face with it. Now I'm at your job. Now I'm the manager.
From my perspective, though, by being a mother, and mothers, they do carry that traditional, perspective or trait, that traditional trait of the kids are going to be closer to you. I don't know what it is, but we're generalizing. We're on the podcast, but a traditional trait is the kids are going to be naturally closer to the woman. How does that affect you going after those goals and those dreams that you want?
It's hard. It's hard when you spend so many months with this newborn. Y'all have a connection. All this baby knows is that I need you to protect me. I rarely see everybody else, but I see you constantly, and I always need you. It's really hard. When it was time for me to go back to work, both times the second time it was easy because she was at home. They were both at home with me, but that first time it was hard. It was hard. I went to work the first day and I was like, I don't even know if I want to be here for real though, because I know my baby is looking for me and she's confused, but that's also a part of life. You can't just be connected at the hip with your kid. That's not good for your kid. That's not good for y'all relationship. But it is hard. It's hard. It's hard as hell.
Why you look like that?
It's hard.
I'm just listening.
It's hard.
I just wonder, does my wife have, I asked her, does she have, dreams or goals?
And it's more than that. When you
not really,
when you have kids, now you have to start weighing
really
what's important to do for me and what's going to benefit my child. And sometimes what benefits my child and crushes my dreams, I'm always going to do that because I want the best for my kids. But that's not going to stop me from thinking well, I still want that thing. I just know I can't have it right now.
Is a mother the best thing that you could be in this world?
I feel like if you're not ready to be a mother, then
No. Don't try to finesse up out of this one. Is a mother the greatest thing you could be in this world?
The best thing you could be in this world. Yeah. From your perspective.
Yes, because you're setting up the next generation.
Don't give me no popcorn answer. I want to know what you really feel.
I really do think being a mother 2 times, it is honestly the best thing ever because a lot of the things I couldn't do, now I can put into my kids. A lot of the things that I wish I
Hold on. And is that why everything else has to take a back seat to motherhood?
Yes.
Okay.
Because raising the kids is more important. Raising the kids is more important. You want them to turn out right too. I want them to be successful. Mm-hmm. And when you think about it, when you don't pour into your kids and they end up doing the wrong thing that's not right, it's disappointing, and that comes back on you. Well, I should have been there. I could have did this differently. So when you, as a mother, when they're young, you try to set them up for success by whatever that means. If that means I got to quit my job because you need me full time to take care of you, then so be it. I'm willing to make that sacrifice because I'm the mother. And it's expected of you when you're a mother. You're supposed to make that sacrifice because you're the mother.
You know, my mama told me a long time ago when I started having kids and she used to tell me she was disappointed with some stuff, you know, when I was a kid. But then when I started having kids and they disappoint me or something and I talk to her, and she just used to tell me, like, you could do everything right. She like, I feel like I raised you and your sister right, but at some point y'all gonna make y'all own decisions. And it's like, it don't matter how good you raise a kid, what life you give them. At the end of the day, they gonna make choices. Mm-hmm. But I feel what you're saying, and what you're saying is absolutely true. Like, I agree with what you're saying, but I just didn't want you to feel like if I'm raising them right and you want them to do the right thing, hey, they gonna make their own decisions at some point. And when they do,
that's part of being a
that
person.
Point come pretty quick.
And when they do, when they do that shit that really break your heart and disappoint you, don't feel like it's because you did the wrong thing. If you know you raising them right, and just don't feel like that. That's all. I wasn't saying what you were saying was wrong. I'm just putting that out there because a wise person told me that.
My mom tells me that all the time.
Yeah,
and being that
true.
my oldest daughter is basically just me. I had her around my birthday too. So she be weighing in a lot. Like, she gonna do this, but just don't take it personal. That was something she always used to say. Like, kids do their own thing. They be in their own universe. Mm-hmm. But it's your job to make sure that the first couple years they don't kill themselves, and that you at least showing them the right way. They might not take it.
When they make them bad decisions, you know, it ain't because of you.
You told them what it was, and you gave them the risks, and they made that decision.
I don't know how we got there, but I like that little segment. So, wrapping up. Any other?
Nah, I'm Gucci. You ain't have nothing else on the board?
No, we ran.
And y'all better not be going ham on them comments, because I am
Shout out my
watching.
fans. I got fans.
Shout out to his fans. If you get cocky in that comment, I will be very close behind on the replies. I'm not playing with y'all. I ain't got nothing else to do during the day. Except when these kids take a nap, I am on TikTok. So between 12 and 2 o'clock, I'm on there.
What's that line they told you? What you say they told you?
You packed me up so eloquently. They always try to
They
squeeze
were referring
that
to
in.
you? They were referring to you? Oh, damn.
I forget what we was talking about. I think we was talking
no
about
wonder you do. No wonder you remember that one.
Do women serve men in a marriage? And I forget what you was saying, but it was just, you was talking in circles, and he was like, oh, he packed her up so eloquently. And I was like, no, this is not it. It's not.
So don't forget to follow the YouTubes, follow the TikToks. Let me get back into my announcer voice. Follow the YouTubes, follow the TikToks, follow the, what else we on? IG,
Facebook.
Oh yeah,
Facebook?
Yeah, we on Facebook too. We hardly post on there, but we will be posting back on Facebook soon.
Now y'all really got to get started on Facebook. Get on Facebook. Okay. I'm gonna be on Facebook too.
Okay, you on Facebook? Okay.
She on that. Oh, you see the point? She on that.
Because people have to be held accountable for their actions, and I'm glad we got somebody that's ready to rumble in the comments with them.
Y'all know I got.
Yeah, Puck be in there, so Puck you'll see him.
I'll be scrolling through the comments looking for you.
You probably don't see
you
me
one time.
I don't usually comment first. I go read the comments, and then I'm responding to them. So you'll have to like click on the comments.
I only seen you in the comments one time, and I was like, there he is. It was like a game of Where's Waldo.
Nah, he in there. You'll see him in there. Oh, hold on. Before we go, let's see what the TikTok doing. We almost at 10,000 followers, y'all. So I appreciate the support, definitely. So appreciate the support. Where we at? Let's get us there. We at 9,906 followers. So all right, we need 94 followers, and we at 10,000.
Better keep putting out good content.
Hey, we trying. Hey,
all 9,000.
When we got good guests like you, it ain't a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, Killa Kham at 170,000 views. Come on, like that's what we do here, okay? Everybody asking to come on. We're gonna talk about women and communication, right? And I'm just a quick little thing before I go, real quick, right? People are asked to come on to the podcast, and they communicate, but like, why are you communicating like I'm a dude trying to get at you? Like you send a message, y'all interested? Oh, get on the podcast. I send a message back with the details. Days later, oh my bad, you contacted us. Come on now.
And we want you here.
And we want you here.
But you gotta respond.
But come on, let's be professional. Like this, I'm not trying to.
I am one of those people that will text back and not respond.
Killa texts back immediately.
You caught me at a good time because I was on the phone already. And to be honest with you, we was about to get on the ride, and I was like, this could wait till after the ride. But then I was looking, and I was like, nah, I could answer this right now, and then I could figure it out later.
And I'm not referring to anybody that's been on the pod. Everybody on the pod, great communication. But the ones that haven't been on, if you really want to come on and you're going to communicate. Let's get a date. Let's straight business. We not chasing y'all. All right, peace out.
Deuces.
Peace.